Hi guys, I'm here with my friend Lisa Woods, and
Hi.
say a big hello. Yeah.
Hello.
I'm excited. We just kind of recently, I think we both well, we've known each other, I should say, for a very long time. Our kids were in
Yes.
school together, but we just kind of, let our kids do their thing, and we didn't always interact. And she was very involved at the school, and I was delinquent in that area. And so we've seen each other, but haven't really sat down and had a conversation. And then, as luck would have it, we both got cancer.
Yay.
Yay. Yes. And so we've both just published books, and I am really excited to include her in our open house that we're having this Sunday on November 21st. You can look for more information on our sites about that. But she's going to be one of the featured local authors, and she's written a book. I'll let you tell people for a minute about that.
Yeah, sure. So I wrote a book. It's called When Good Boobs Go Bad, Cut Them Out of Your Life. That's what I did when I was diagnosed with breast cancer. It's been a little over 7.5 years now. Mm-hmm. And so I started writing about it kind of right away. I wanted to put the information out there. I have a huge family. I was number 7 in my family at the time. To be diagnosed, and there are a lot of other women in the family who may face it, and so I wanted them to kind of know what they might be up against, what it kind of feels like, what it looks like, so it wasn't such a big surprise. And so I started a Facebook blog. I started writing about it, everything as it happened, as it felt, what it looked like, very raw, very honest, and gained a following all over the world, and got connected to a lot of survivors, which was great for me. Mm-hmm. That really helped me to talk to other people who had been through it. And that's what I wanted to be for others. So I wanted to, help anyone that I could with my journey to get through theirs. And so I've continued the blog, and I took the first 5 years and put it into book form. So it's kind of a diary with additional stories and writing to it, just so it's kind of a reference. It helps to have some idea of what you come up against. And of course, everybody's situation is different. Every experience is different, but there's a lot of things that translate really to any illness, any major life event, and just life in general. There are a lot of just interactions with people that are kind of just all of us can, relate to. So that just came out at the beginning of October, and I am so thankful and happy to be coming out on Sunday with Heather and the other ladies. Grateful for this opportunity, and I thank you for having me on and talking and give me a chance to showcase my book and to share with the rest of you, and for all of us to get out there and share with everyone else.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad to help you have practice, because I know you're going to be doing more of these types of things in the future. And it's, well, I think what we're going to do is we're going to transition a little bit into talking about one of your favorite posts out of my book. But then I had said this to June too, when I talked to her today, I'd like to set up a time in the future after our event, after you've kind of gained some new followers from meeting the people that will be there for all of the other authors and artists, and then maybe do 20 or 30 minutes and just dig a little bit deeper into your story and your book.
Sure, absolutely.
I had that idea in the middle of June's interview, and now
that'd be great.
I think that would be a fun thing to do.
Sure, yeah.
I've been doing tons of interviews this last month and being on your end of it, and I decided I love it, and then I started doing these, and I kind of love it too. So I'm looking forward to it.
Sounds good. Yeah.
So I will save, because I want to, when we go back to you in a future episode, I want to talk about some of your chapter titles, because those are my favorite.
Oh,
and the title is awesome. I love it. Love it.
Well, thank you.
Okay, so tell me about one of your favorite posts, and maybe one that's kind of spoken to you in a unique way.
Okay, yeah. So from Soul-Selfie, one of the posts that really resonates with me is "Live Like You Were Dying." Mm-hmm. And so in there, you reference the song, which I'm not a country music fan, so I probably wouldn't have known about it, except it's on our work playlist, and they play it all the time. So I've heard it for years and had an opportunity to really listen to it. And it's just, I think it's a really great song. And the words are just really, you listen to them and they really speak to me, especially after what I've gone through, what you've gone through. Basically, it's a man telling a story about a guy that he has interacted with, and this gentleman received, I'm assuming probably cancer diagnosis. He gets this diagnosis. He doesn't have much time to live. And so he's kind of like, oh, well, I'm dying. What do I do? What are you going to do? And so what does he do? He goes skydiving, and he goes mountain climbing, and he rides a bull, and he says, I love deeper, and he was more kind, and he gave forgiveness. And basically he tells the person he's talking to that he hopes he has the chance to live like he was dying. And I think that's just really good advice for everyone. Live each day like you're dying. And in reality, we are, and you touch on that. We are, and we don't know how long we have. Some people do sort of get a glimpse at their expiration date, and people have a bucket list. For me, I have a small bucket list. It was 2 items. One of them is this book. But you have people who wait their whole life to get towards the end and then decide to start fulfilling that bucket list, to get out there and do the things they've always wanted to do. And it's a shame to wait to do that. And I think we need to not do that. Don't wait. Don't try to cram it in at the end. Do it while you can enjoy it. Do it while it will make an impact on others. Do it while it will make a difference. So get out there and do the things that you've always wanted to do. Do the things that scare you. That was on our board at work the other day. We have a whiteboard that the boss puts a quote on every day. And the other day it was, each day do something that scares you. And get out there and do those things. Stop holding back. Don't hold back because you think you might be embarrassed, or you're afraid to talk to someone. Maybe there's somebody you're interested in, and you don't want to step out and show an interest, and you're just wasting time. And we don't have time. We don't know how much time we have. The time we have is precious. Don't waste your time. Get out there and do those things. Make those life choices, the changes. If your life doesn't go in the direction you want it to go in, make the changes to head it in the direction you want it to go in. Don't waste your time on people and situations that aren't helping you, that are holding you back or aren't beneficial to you. And I know for myself, I wasn't incredibly worried about dying after my cancer diagnosis, because I had women in my family who had successfully fought breast cancer, a couple of them twice, like my mom. And so it didn't really scare me in that way. But on the other side of it, I definitely look at things differently. I definitely look at things like time is short, and it is precious, and you just don't ever know. And so I try to be more conscious of that. I try to kind of let the small things roll off my back a little bit, not to waste time on things that are just eating up my time, or situations or people that aren't helping my life in some way, helping me to be the person that I want to be. And I try more to put out there more positive energy from myself, to be a more positive person, be a better person, and try to just be more conscious of what I'm doing. And I think going through a cancer diagnosis or any major illness, life-threatening illness, kind of makes you think that way, because it puts your mortality in your face to some extent. But that was the one that I just really, I think because I really, really like the song. And it's a good thought. Live like you were dying, just don't hold back. Just live your life and get out there and make it be what you want it to be, and do the things you want to do. Publish that book, write that song, get out there and just step out without fear, and just do it, and be a positive to the world and
or
to
with
others.
fear.
Absolutely.
My friend always says, do it afraid if you have to.
Right.
Just
absolutely.
go ahead.
That's what I reference in my book. Someone had commented where it was sort of a talk about bravery. And he said, being brave is being terrified and doing it anyway. And so, you have to just get out there and go for it. Don't wait until the end. Wait until something happens and okay, you've got 6 months to go. Okay, now I have to do everything I've always wanted to do. Just go and do it. Do it now, but make those changes, make those steps, and live like you're dying. So I really think that was a good one.
Oh, well, that one, for what I was going to say, the person that, well, I should say the situation where I first heard that song was a friend of ours, Charlie Britton, who had cancer and fought it for years, but it ended up killing him. And when we had the service for him, that was the song that the band, the full worship band sang at his memorial service. So every time I hear that song, it gets me choked up.
Yeah,
And
it's a great song.
And the reality is, for me, I think part of the reason I wrote that is that, you know, you've probably had these comments that people say to you too, is like, oh my gosh, you're so brave, or oh, you have such great perspective when you have cancer, and how are you so positive? And I think, you know what, it's a lot easier to live like you're dying when there's a pretty good chance you could, than when you're not. And I know for me, even though I was living like I was dying for a while, once that imminent threat is gone, the things that I hand over my serenity to are astounding to me. You know, it's hard to not be hard on myself or act disappointed in myself, because I don't just turn over little things. I get worked up over things that absolutely, in the scheme of life, do not matter. And that's why I have to read my own book a lot. As I go back and go, oh yeah, I forgot about that little time where I was able to do that. And
you have to kind of step back and go, does this really matter in the grand scheme of things? What does this matter? It's nothing, you know.
It is, absolutely. And I also like what you said at the beginning when you were talking, that not even about this post per se, but you know, we go through what we go through so we can help other people get through what we went through. And that's the thing that resonated when I met with you and we went out to Panera, and just to hear each other's stories, that are the stance we've taken about our cancer, is that if we don't help someone else with what we learned, what was it all for? And so you know, you're writing your memoir basically of that time, so that other people can be educated, but also know they're not alone, know that you know, just can help someone else. And that's why I write in my blogs, not just about cancer, but all the other messed up stuff in my head and my heart. You know, I don't want anyone to feel left out. So I just want to make sure everyone
all inclusive,
my crazy stuff. So I think we're both kind of have that same motivation. And I know that the other girls that will be there for the open house have this similar passion. I know they just want to convey to other people the hope and God's hand on every part of our lives. And part of that is telling your story. So that's what we're going to learn more about this weekend. And let's do another talk together after this weekend, and we'll kind of delve a little bit more into your book.
Absolutely.
Thank you for doing this. And you know,
thank you so much. Great to talk with you.
The other fear piece that we were talking about is that I mentioned in a blog post not too long ago that I kind of got my butt kicked by one of my friends who I was whining to about how I just don't think I can post that on social media, and I don't like how I look, and I don't know, you know, I was just whining a lot about that. And she just kind of said, are you kidding me? You have an important message, and you're going to let how you look on camera keep you from sharing that message with people? And I was like, you're right. But it's helpful to do these kinds of things. I know you were mentioning this is something new to you, is being on camera, and I am the same way. I don't really like it, but I'm over it. I decided I'm over it, because I do think that the message is what matters, and no one really cares. Well, they might care what I look like, but I just don't care anymore. I don't care what I look like. I'm the one who's most worried about it. So just put that on the list of all the things I write about. So anyway,
you look great
for being here.
So if that means anything, it doesn't matter. You look great. So.
So all right, well, we'll do this again, and thanks everyone for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you guys this weekend.
See you Sunday. Come see us.